oversight, the dream of belonging, the allure of security and plenty, foster
Dependence. Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service bit. Knew you'd come around. Stop now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net. Stop and consider. What would your net... Why? You don't want your rivals to win. Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable... Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly faint simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Time to process the Rift data. Finally.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Well, perhaps we will discover a means to capitalize on the ascension of humanity. Rift data processing complete. Results provide. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contain flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9%. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Got what you needed, right? I saw through the window. Looked like quite a time. Time for you to hold up your end of the bargain. Let's have it. Hand over the Calcaduceus. Oh, yes, that'll do. Look at that. Nice, sturdy design. We should start selling these things.
Yes, hello. I believe, together, we can discover a means to capitalize on the path to humanity's ascent.
Never thought of using the Order's hoity-toity ambitions to turn a profit. But suppose it's all about selling weight. When you're all done here, head back on the undisputed claim. We'll discuss your next assignment.
Well, we could keep exploring Cloister, see if we find anything useful. Or we could head back to the ship and see where this data leads us.
Thecklaw. Hot shower?
Stop and consider. What would your... Why? You don't want your rival. Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Be advised. Your present course of action is I could process your data faster than the others. Think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay its ascendance. You are reduced. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged.
Thank you for choosing the Profitalist priority set to address your needs. Customer loyalty is among our top 10 paramount concerns. Ready to begin processing your Rift data. Just awaiting your approval. You being the boss and all. Should we get on with this then? Commencing the processing process. Should be done in 2 shakes of a Raptidon sale. In the meantime, I have an important topic. Future business. What's next for my processing queue? I have some compelling proposals to expand revenue. You know, with the right marketing plan, we could get more people on board this whole universal equation business. Maybe even contract out the work while we focus on leveraging it. Put the understanding we gain of the inner workings of the universe to our advantage. You realize you answered a question with a question though, right? I was asking about your plans for me. Talk about the ideal merger. With their incessant drive and my ability to perform in-depth statistical analysis, our target market, i.e. the universe, doesn't stand a chance. The Rift data processing you requested is complete. Results provide. My previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but produced a mess of flaws. Your data being more comprehensive generated a solution with a near absolute certainty. The Protectorate wasn't even half that. Thus modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device. Now, while I hate to interrupt our little confabulation session, I need to commence file reorderization after all that effort. Might be incommunicado for a time. In usefuler news, the last display case of the entryway is now open. There's some expensive-looking armor made by the first operator in there. By all means, until next time, see you when I see you.
Be advised. Your present course of action. I could process your data faster.
Stop now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Think of all. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net.
Think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay its ascendance. You are restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. I suppose sentient beings like you expect thanks at a moment like this. But of course you selected me. The other priority sets were inferior. There was never any doubt. Awaiting your order to initiate Rift data processing. Well, if there are to be no further interruptions, shall we? Commencing calculatory processing. Soon you'll have all you need to put your rivals firmly in their rightful place, trailing distantly behind you. Once this Rift data is complete, we can initiate a new set of calculations aimed at eliminating any competition before or after transforming this world. I have many plans. I think first we reforge Cloister into the perfect society. Then undermine all rivals until they fall into place behind us. But before all that, what are your plans for me? Well, there are certain parallels in our goals. If you consider merchandising and marketing as means to hold sway over your rival, Rift data processing executed. Results provided. My Protectorate operator afore you made similar calculations, but his results were flawed. Your data was more comprehensive and provided a solution with a 98.9% certitude. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Hence, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information would greatly improve its chance of having performed the requested calculations. Fear I must commence file reorderization for an unspecified amount of time. We shall continue our utopian efforts anon. In the meanwhile, the final display case in the entryway is now open. In it lies the armor of the first operator. Take what you're due.
Got what you needed, right? I saw through the window. Look, time for you to hold up your end of the bargain. Let's have it. Hand over the Calcaduceus.